Good morning, students. This is class 11, subject chemistry, chapter 3, classification of elements and periodicity in properties. And this is lecture number 3. These are the topics which we will discuss today. Difference between metals, nonmetals and metalloids, periodic trends in properties of elements, trends in physical properties like atomic radius and ionic radius. So first topic is difference between metals, nonmetals and metalloids. So metals are elements having the highest degree of metallic behavior. The elements which can lose electron easily, they show high metallic character. So metals, they show highest degree of metallic behavior. Non-metals are elements showing less or no metallic properties. And in case of metalloids, metalloids are elements having a low degree of metallic behavior. Next is that they are located in S, P, D and F block of the periodic table. Non-metals are located in S and P block. And metalloids, they are located in P block. Now metals are found in left side of the periodic table. Non-metals are found in the right side of the periodic table and metalloids are found in the middle of the periodic table. Next point is they have shiny appearance. Okay, non-metals have a dull appearance and metalloids have dull or shiny appearance. Next is they show malleability and ductility. Malleability means these elements can be converted into thin sheets and ductility means they can be converted into thin wires. Non-metals do not show malleability and ductility and metalloids do not show malleability and ductility. Metals, thermal and electrical conductivity is very high in metals. In non-metals, thermal and electrical conductivity is very low. Thermal means heat. Okay. In case of metalloids, thermal and electrical conductivity is good but less than metals. Next point is that they have a very low electronegativity. You will study about electronegativity in further topic. Now, in case of non-metal, they have a very high electronegativity. And in case of metalloid, they have intermediate value of electronegativity. Now next is periodic trends in properties of elements. So there are many observable patterns in the physical and chemical properties of element as we move across a period in the periodic table. For example, this is the periodic table, okay? And if we talk about reactivity of elements, then when we go top to down, then reactivity of element increases, okay? But if we talk about halogens, that means 17 group element, then reactivity of element decreases as we go down the group, okay? So group number 1 and group number 17 elements are more reactive as compared to the elements which are present in the middle of the table. Now, the question is, why do properties of elements follow these trends and how can we explain periodicity? We can answer these questions by studying the atomic structure of these elements and properties of the atom. Now, trends in physical properties. So first trend is atomic radius. Atomic radius means radius of an atom. So there is basically no practical way by which we can find out exact size of an atom. And when we find out exact size, then we face two problems. One is that atom does not have a sharp boundary. You can see the diagram that atom does not have sharp boundary. Okay. Second one is that size of atom is very, very small. So we can estimate the atomic size by knowing the distance between the atoms in the combined state. Combined state means when one atom combines with another atom and forms a molecule. Okay. In that state, we can find out or we can estimate the atomic size. Now, whether an element is metal or non-metal, By this, we can use three types of radii. Number one is covalent radius, second one van der Waals radius, third one metallic radius. Now we will discuss one by one these radius. So first one is covalent radius. So covalent radius is defined as 1/2 the distance between the nuclei of two covalently bonded atoms of the same element in a molecule. This is generally used for known metals. Okay, two covalently bonded atoms means there is sharing of electron between two atoms. Okay, whenever there is sharing of electron, then they form covalent bond. For example, hydrogen atom share electron and forms a bond, so they will form covalent bond. Okay, now we have to determine covalent radius. So there is a formula to find out covalent radius, and that is half of internuclear distance between two bonded atoms. Now what is internuclear distance? So here you can see this is one atom, this is second atom. Okay, suppose this is one hydrogen atom and this is second hydrogen atom, and there is sharing of electron. Okay, now internuclear distance is the distance between two atoms from their nucleus. Okay, so can you see this distance? This is known as internuclear distance. Okay, we have to measure this distance from the nucleus. Now we have to determine covalent radii. Okay, that means this part. So what we will do? Divide internuclear distance between two atoms by 2, and we will be able to determine covalent radii. Now next type of radii is van der Waals radii. Okay, it is defined as 1/2 the distance between the nuclei of two identical non-bonded isolated atoms. Okay, isolated means separate atoms, or two adjacent identical atoms belonging to two neighboring molecules of an element in the solid state. You can understand this radii with the help of this picture. Okay, this is one molecule. Okay, and this one is second molecule. Now we have to measure distance from this point to this point. Okay, this is first molecule, this is second molecule. Now nucleus of the first molecule of an atom, and this is nucleus of the second molecule of an atom. Okay, measure this distance and divide it by 2. That will be van der Waals radius. You will observe that in this radius, this part is also included. That is why van der Waals radius is always larger than covalent radius. Okay. Now next is, it is also known as inert gas radius. Why it is known as inert gas radius? Inert means non-reactive, and 18th group element are known as inert gases. Okay, so 18th group element do not form chemical compounds. So their atomic radii are usually expressed in terms of van der Waals radii. Okay, that is why we can say that they are inert gas radius. Now next type of radii is metallic radius. So how we will define it? It is defined as 1/2 the distance, we can say internuclear distance. It is very important to mention internuclear distance between the two adjacent metal ions in the metallic lattice. So here you can see the picture. These are two metals ions. Okay, so you will take internuclear distance of these two metal ions and divide it by 2. That will be metallic radii. Now metallic radius is always longer than its covalent radius. So now this is the order of different radius. Van der Waals radius is greater than metallic radius, and metallic radius is greater than covalent radius. Okay. Now variation of atomic radius. When we go left to right in a periodic table, then what is the variation? And when we go top to down in group in periodic table, then what is the variation of atomic radius. So we will discuss one by one these. So first one is variation of atomic radius from left to right. So when we move left to right in a period, atomic radius decreases. You can see in the periodic table, when we move left to right, then atomic size decreases. Okay, here there is a picture of atoms. The lithium is larger in size. Okay, after that size of the atom decreases. Now question is, why size decreases? Because the force of attraction between nucleus and outermost electron increases, and it is known as nuclear charge. Okay, nuclear charge is force of attraction between nucleus and outermost electron. So we will say that when we move left to right along a period, nuclear charge increases due to addition of an electron in the same shell. Okay, and nuclear charge is force of attraction between nucleus and outermost electron. Now you see, atomic radius decreases as we move along a period. Here we will take one example. This is sodium and this is magnesium. Okay, atomic number of sodium is 11 and atomic number of magnesium is 12. So number of electrons and protons in sodium is equal to 11 and in magnesium it is 12. Okay, when one proton and one electron is added into sodium atom, it becomes magnesium. Okay, now there are two type of force in an atom. One is attractive force and second one is repulsive force. Repulsive force is among the electrons and attractive force is between nucleus and electron. So when attractive force dominates over repulsive force, then size will decrease because nucleus will attract outermost electron towards itself and size will decrease. Okay. Here we will take one more example. This is structure of lithium atom. Okay. In lithium, atomic number is 3. So there are 3 electrons. Okay. And 3 protons. So nucleus will attract these electrons. Okay. And this is structure of beryllium. In beryllium, atomic number is 4 and number of electrons are also 4. So now nucleus will attract 4 electrons. Now you will observe the size of beryllium is less than lithium because force of attraction between nucleus and electron is more, or we can say the nuclear charge is more. So size will decrease because this nucleus will attract these electrons towards itself and size of the atom will decrease. Here you can note down the explanation part. Now this is the table of atomic radii and this is the graph. Okay, here you can see that atomic radii decreases as we go in left hand side of the periodic table. Okay. Now next topic is variation within a group. So when we move top to down in a group in periodic table, then atomic radius increases. Okay. Now question is, why atomic radius increases when we move top to down in periodic table? So the answer is due to addition of a new shell, size increases. Here you can see the diagram. This is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Okay, and there is addition of a new shell in these elements. In lithium, 3 electrons are present. Okay, in sodium there is addition of a new shell. Okay, due to addition of a new energy shell, size of the atom will be more. Okay, in the same way for potassium, rubidium and cesium. Now there is one more type of radius that is known as ionic radius. Okay, before that you should know what is a cation and what is an anion. So cation, the removal of an electron from an atom results in the formation of a cation. Okay, when we remove one electron from an atom, then it becomes cation and it acquires positive charge. On the other hand, the gain of an electron leads to an anion, okay, and it will acquire negative charge. So here you can see that this is nitrogen and there is addition of 3 electron in nitrogen atom. When we add 3 electron in nitrogen atom, then size of the atom will be more. Okay, and here you will write 3 negative. Okay, negative sign shows that there is addition of the electron. Now, next is a cation is always smaller than its parent atom, while an anion is always greater than its parent atom. So here you can see that this is nitrogen, and after addition of 3 electrons, size of the anion is greater than the parent atom. Okay. Here number of protons are same, but number of electrons are more. In neutral atom of nitrogen, when there is no charge, okay, here atomic number of nitrogen is 7. That means 7 proton and 7 neutrons are present in nitrogen atom. But when nitrogen gains 3 electron, so here in this anion, 7 protons and 10 electrons are present here. Okay, in this atom, 7 proton are attracting 7 electrons. But here 7 protons are attracting 10 electrons. So force of attraction between nucleus and electrons will be less. As the force of attraction decreases, size of the anion will be more. Okay, so this is the reason that anions are always greater to its parent atom. In the same way, we can explain for the cation that in case of cation, size of the cation is less than the neutral or parent atom. Why is it so? Because in sodium atom, there are total 11 electrons and 11 protons. Atomic number of sodium is 11. But when we remove one electron from sodium atom, it will acquire +1 charge. Now, number of electrons are 10 and number of protons are same, 11. Okay. Now, protons are present in the nucleus. So, now 11 protons are attracting 10 electrons. And in sodium atom, 11 protons are attracting 11 electrons. So, here you will observe that force of attraction between nucleus and outermost electron will be more. As the force of attraction between these are more, so size will be less. That is why size of sodium positive is less than its parent atom. Okay. Now, as the positive charge on cation will increase, the size of the cation will be less and less, because force of attraction of the electron to the nucleus will be more. An ion with a greater negative charge will have the larger radius. In this case, the net repulsion of the electrons will be overweigh the nuclear charge and the ion will expand its size. Okay. Now next is, there is a term isoelectronic species. You are already familiar with this term in second chapter. Now what are isoelectronic species? Those species which have 2 or more species with same number of atoms, same number of valence electron and same structure, regardless of the nature of the elements involved. Okay, or in simple language we can say that isoelectronic means same electron. Okay, those species which have same number of electrons, they are known as isoelectronic species. So in this diagram, this one is cation and this one is anion. Here size of the cation is less than size of the anion. Okay. If we take distance between these two ions from the nucleus, then you will observe that this is interionic distance. Okay. So this distance is known as interionic distance. Okay. This is the radii of cation and this one is radii of anion. First we have to determine total distance. Okay. Then you should know one of the radii of any ion. Okay. So interionic distance minus radii of any one of the ion. In this way you can determine radii of another ion. So that's all for today, students. Now, your homework is that you have to do NCERT exercise question number 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So question number 9 is, what do you understand by the term ionic radius and atomic radius? Question number 10, explain why there is variation in atomic radius in a group and period. Question number 11, explain what is isoelectronic species. Give names of the species which will be isoelectronic species with each ion or atom given below. Okay. This is argon, rubidium positive, F negative, magnesium 2 positive. Question number 12. Consider the accompanying species N3 negative, O2 negative, F negative, Na positive, magnesium 2 positive and aluminium 3 positive. What is similar in them? Arrange them in the according to their increasing order of ionic radii. Question number 13. Cation are having smaller radii than that of their parent atom and anion are having larger radii than their parent atom. Why? So that's all for today, students. If you have any doubt, you can ask me on my email ID or at Quark site. Thank you and have a nice day.